The Fox and the Hound. One spring morning, Big Mama Owl watched as a passing fox gently laid her cub in the grass. As she watched the mother fox disappear into the forest, Big Mama knew that the fox had left her cub out of love. She was trying to keep him safe from hunters who had been roaming the forest the night before. Big Mama flew down to meet the fox cub. She had an idea. She asked her friends Dinky and Boomer to help her nestle the cub in some laundry and leave him for the farm owner to find. The farm owner was a kind woman named Widow Tweed, and Big Mama was sure that she would do all she could to protect the little cub. It wasn't long before Widow Tweed found the tiny red fox nestled in her fallen laundry. She gently cradled the abandoned cub. Mrs. Tweed had then prepared a bottle of milk for the hungry animal. "I'll take care of you," she said sweetly. "I'll name you Todd." The farm facing Widow Tweed's belonged to a hunter named Amos Slade. That same day that Widow Tweed had found Todd, Amos surprised his loyal dog, Chief, with an adorable hound puppy. "His name is Copper," said Amos. Although Chief was a very stern dog, he couldn't help but like the little pup. As time passed, Todd grew bigger. One day he ventured out into the forest. There he met Copper. The two became fast friends. They ran alongside each other through the woods and played in the pond. When it was time to go home, they promised to remain best friends and spend every day together. Each day the friends would meet in the woods and play all day long. One morning, Copper didn't show up. Todd went to look for him at Amos's house and was surprised to find that Copper had been tied up on a leash. Widow Tweed never tied Todd up. Suddenly, Todd noticed Chief sleeping nearby. As he approached him, the big dog woke up. Chief recognized the fox's smell and instinctively charged at him. Amos came outside and saw Todd. He thought Todd had come to steal his chickens, so he fired his shotgun. Todd got away just in time and hurried back home. Amos confronted Widow Tweed and demanded that she kept her fox inside and away from his chicken coop. After a while, Todd grew bored of being indoors. One day, he crept through a window and ran into the forest to look for Copper. Suddenly, he heard a car coming down the road and saw Copper in the back seat. "We'll teach this dog how to hunt, won't we, Chief?" Amos said to the big dog. Todd couldn't believe it. He didn't think Copper was capable of hurting an innocent animal. Soon winter came. Todd felt very lonely on the farm without his friend Copper. By the time spring arrived, Todd had grown into a handsome fox. When Widow Tweed finally let him out, Todd ran to greet his friend Boomer, Dinky, and Big Mama. "My, how you've grown!" Big Mama said with a smile. Just then, Todd turned to see a car barreling down the street. It was Copper and Amos. That night, Todd snuck out to see his friend. "You'd better get out of here," Copper told Todd. "I'm a hunting dog now, and you're a fox." Heartbroken, Todd turned to leave, but Chief began to bark, and soon Amos was firing shots into the yard at Todd. Todd took off into the forest to hide from the hunter. He was in such a panic that he got lost in the woods. He ran and ran until he finally found himself near the train tracks. When Copper found Todd, he didn't want to hurt him. Instead, he led Amos and Chief on the wrong trail, but Chief wasn't fooled. He spotted Todd on the railway bridge and chased after him. Suddenly, the bridge began to rumble. A train was headed right for them. Todd crouched down to avoid the train, but Chief wasn't so lucky. He fell from the tracks into a ravine below. Although he hoped that Chief was okay, Todd didn't wait around to find out. He ran home to Widow Tweed. Amos was angry and blamed the fox for Chief's fall. Afraid for Todd's safety, Widow Tweed decided it would be best to let the fox go free. After all, he was a wild animal. The next day, with a heavy heart, she left Todd deep into the forest. When Amos learned that Todd had been released into the forest, he saw an opportunity to take his revenge. Copper also blamed Todd for Chief's injuries, and he eagerly helped Amos in his plan to get rid of the fox. Together they set up traps in the forest, hoping to catch Todd off guard. While Big Mama flew through the forest looking for Todd, she met a beautiful fox named Vixie. Vixie offered to help Big Mama look for her friend. When they finally found Todd, he looked sad and tired. He didn't know how to live in the wild. When he saw Vixie, Todd's mood quickly brightened. She was beautiful. While Vixie taught Todd how to live in the wild, Amos and Copper laid their traps. They waited for Todd in the bushes. As he approached, Todd noticed something shiny in the grass. When he bent to take a closer look, the object snapped up. It was a trap. As he began to back away, Amos appeared with his rifle pointed at Todd, but Todd got away just in time. Todd outran Copper and Amos and headed up on a mountain, but Copper soon caught the fox's scent and followed close behind. As they reached the top of the mountain, Amos and Copper came face to face with a grizzly bear. As Amos backed up, he stepped into one of the traps he had laid. He was in terrible pain and couldn't walk any further. When Copper jumped on the bear, he was quickly swatted down by the bear's big paw. Todd knew he had to help his friend. He jumped up on the bear and bit him on the ear. As the bear got up to chase him, Todd led him toward the rotting tree trunk suspended above the ravine. The trunk snapped, and the bear fell into the water with a splash. When he made his way back to the shore, Todd looked up to see Amos aiming his rifle at him. After all the fox had done for them, Copper couldn't let Amos hurt Todd. They were friends. Copper stood over Todd protectively. "You're right, Amos," said, lowering his rifle. "This little fox saved our lives. Let's go home." After saying goodbye to his friend, Todd rejoined Vixie in the forest. "Do you know what the two most beautiful things in the world are?" he asked. "Friendship and love." She couldn't help but agree. The end. Good night and sweet dreams.